Hi, my name is Alejandro Pérez Pérez, and this is the AI Coffee Podcast. Every week, we will have one episode regarding one disruptive aspect of technologies for the time to drink a cup of coffee. Today, we have Sara del Pino Bonilla, who is a friend of mine, and we work together for a lot of time. So maybe during the conversation, we will have really powerful remembers of the past. So before we start, I will present her. She studied a bachelor's degree in business administration in Universidad de Castilla-La Mancha. Then she studied 2 master's degrees, one in professional development in Universidad de Alcalá, and another one in business intelligence and big data in Universidad Rey Juan Carlos. Then she has a lot of certifications in business intelligence and big data, most of them regarding to Qlik, because she is working there for more than 4 years. And also she has a lot of experience working in Galp. That was her last company that she was working at. She has experience in different roles such as key account manager, data analyst, and Qlik developer in Galp. But now she is focused on education and technical training. She is working in Qlik, the business intelligence company. She was working for more than 2 years, and then correct me if I'm wrong, Sara, in the technical trainer team. And now she is part of the curriculum developer.
Yeah.
And you will explain it later. So thank you, Sara, for being here. It's a pleasure to having you here because we have been working for a lot of time in Qlik. I'm really happy that you are here and sharing your experience, and also because you have what it's called multipotential mindset. Actually, you come from this management part and you studied business intelligence, big data, and a lot of things about data and programming. And now you are really in a technical position. So how do you feel about that?
Well, thank you very much for this great presentation, Alejandro. First of all, I must say that when you invited me to participate in this amazing project, I was so happy to be part of the AI Coffee podcast. And I think this is an awesome initiative, and I only hope that when you are millionaire, you will remember who your friends are. No, I'm kidding. I just think this project will be very successful. In fact, I think it is. And because you put all your passion on it, and I think that when a person listens to your podcast or go to your website, they can feel it. And regarding my professional career, well, as you mentioned, I have worked in such different areas. So this gave me different backgrounds on point of view. And I always try to get the best of them and apply to my next roles. And I think society today works in a way that some way sets you a path to follow. Like, for example, you have to go to school, you have to then go to the high school and then decide in that unique moment of your life, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? And if you study law, you have to be a lawyer. If you study chemistry, you will work in a laboratory. But I don't agree with all of that 100%. I believe that university studies help you to establish a basis. And once you have that basis, you can work on that in the future. But I believe that you can also work on something totally different, because if you want to learn new things, society doesn't have to impose limits on you. So yeah, you have to set your goal, and I think is what I did. Okay, so if you ask me how I feel as a multipotential person, it comes to my mind the concept of comfort zones, that you probably know what it is, and everyone who is listening this podcast know what it is. But I think that many people are afraid of passing the barriers that they build around. But I consider that getting out from your comfort zone is something really good, really good. And I'm sure that you also think that, Alejandro, because I know you are a person who likes to try other things and learn other things. But yeah, at the beginning, you feel uncomfortable, right? Because you are in an unfamiliar territory, because you are a multipotential person. You have knowledge in something, but you want to learn about other things. And I think when you do that, you move to a zone of growing. And this happened a lot of time during my life. So I encourage people to stepping out from their comfort zones and meet the world that is outside. because I think that multipotential people are very valuable to companies. They have the vision from different perspectives. So I feel very well being something like that. And I think that if other people that are listening to us feel like that, they are not alone. We are many and we are very valuable.
This is really important. First of all, if I become a millionaire, of course, you are invited to my big house, and
Great.
we can take a gin tonic or something together because of that. Yes, of
A
course,
very expensive gin tonic,
of
right?
course. And then I feel like what you say, it's really, really important. I'm totally agree. You said that when we mix things out of our comfort zone and we try new things, really good things happens. And something that is really important that I got once is that I heard that innovation is when you take something from one world and you mix it with something from other different world, and you create like a new word. And actually it happens that way. So if you come from in your case, from the business perspective, business background, and you learn coding, you learn how to work in a technical domain and you improve there, and you can bring what you had in your background as your bachelor degree and then what you have learned later and in your experience and put it together, you create really an impressive mindset, and it creates a lot of value for the companies and also for you, as you mentioned. And I guess that more and more people are like that, because for me, it's natural to be like that. What is not natural is to be only focused on one thing for all your life. Maybe that was before in our parents' life or generation, but I guess that now it's really boring, actually.
Yeah,
And yeah, and
it's something good always, stepping out from your comfort zone. And I think that this can be found maybe in other company, but also maybe, why not, in another sector, or maybe in another area of your company, or also in your current role, you can do different tasks or open your mind to different projects. So I think this is up to you and it depends on you. So if you want, you can get that. Yeah, it's my opinion.
a really good one. And also, I would like to say greetings to people from Qlik, because I have much more memories from this time. I have a lot of good memories from that time. So greetings to Miriam, Candela, Ricardo, Tema, Sandra, Lydia, much more. But before, I would like to know how things are going there.
I'm sure that you'll appreciate your greetings since we all in Qlik. We remember you a lot. And this year is being very excited. Just in case someone here listening the podcast doesn't know Qlik, Qlik is a software company focused on data integration and business intelligence analytics. And one of our main products, which is QlikSense, is a tool for data analysis where you can create dashboards within your organization, implement alerts. For example, when your sales are not getting to your targets, Qlik sends you a message by email or to your mobile phone. So this is only an example that what QlikSense can offer you. But you can also collaborate in QlikSense. You can also collaborate with your colleagues through notes. For example, if you see that the margin of a product is very low, you can write a note and name one of your colleagues, and he or she will have a notification and will have the opportunity to look at that and give a response on that. So this is also a collaborative tool. And as I was saying, this is only one of our main products because the portfolio of Qlik is bigger and bigger every year. And, this sector is very dynamic. So that's why this year is very exciting. And every day we have new products, new functionalities, you have new competitors in the market. So at Qlik, we try to keep up to date and offer our customers a very competitive product.
Yes, that's true. Well, I still use ClickSense, even though I'm not
Yeah.
in Qlik. But Qlik is really used. I guess that at least every people working for the data sector know. But even I know that like beyond this sector, that a lot of people work with Qlik dashboards or with Qlik tables, graphs. And as you said, like more and more things, more capabilities are applied to Qlik as the whole company and product. So Yes, it's amazing. And I would like to talk more about your role as a digital educator, let's say, because, well, I don't know exactly how the role that you are currently working at is exactly, but I know a lot what you did before as a technical trainer. And tell me how your role in Qlik help others to being educated in this digital world that we are now.
Yeah, sure. Of course. My role is curriculum developer at Qlik right now. And yes, you will be thinking, what is that? Is it to advise people on how to write their CVs? Someone asked me someday that in LinkedIn. Don't worry, I will explain it. As a curriculum developer, my role is to develop the online materials for the Qlik courses. So Qlik, as a software company, like many other companies, has its own training for customers. And I have to develop those materials, the manuals with the theory, the exercises, business cases. I have also to create videos, edit videos, demos. We take care of updating the courses that we already have because, as we were talking, there are new features every day. So we have to include those new features. We also participate in different projects. For example, you know that Qlik as a software company also has its own certification exams. Indeed, you passed already some of the Qlik certifications, so of course you know it. And as a curriculum developer, I have to participate also in the review of those exams. These exams are offered by an external company, but Qlik controls the content. And well, we have to participate on those kind of projects among other many projects. We have trainings for different profiles. So we have training for the business analyst profile, for the data architect profile, for the system administrator profile. And I'm focused on the business analyst training, but I can also participate in projects related to other profiles. And these courses are courses that the trainers that we have at Qlik, as you know, I was technical trainer before, so now I'm in the other side. I'm preparing the materials for those courses that our trainers teach to the customers of Qlik, customers that buy our training. We also have different formats. For example, we have the format that we call blended format for courses, which is a self-paced format where students can access our website and they can follow the course at their own pace, learning what Qlik is and how it works to apply it later in their work at their companies. This is what I do as a curriculum developer, and this is what my area is in charge of.
Yeah, actually, it's really amazing what you are doing, and also what a valuable role you have for the company, because you are preparing the trainers that are going to prepare the next generation for Qlik developers. So wow, it feels really impressive. And I'm really happy that you got this promotion, because it feels like a promotion, right? So I'm really happy for you because you're worth it and you work a lot. And I think everyone can see from this conversation that you have a lot of knowledge and a lot of also motivation to train and to expand data knowledge all around the world. So yeah, I'm really happy for you.
Thank you
So
very much, Alejandro.
So I would like to know if you could speak a little bit about the importance of digital skills education in today's job market, and how Qlik as the company addresses this need.
I think the education in digital skills today is a key topic. It's a really important topic because if we want people to be prepared for the labor market, digital skills are more necessary than ever. Today, for example, companies sell more and more products and services online, and they are closing physical stores. So this means that organizations have a great opportunity here because they have more information about users. They access to their products or to their services online, and most of times they have to register themselves and create an account in the website of the company which offer that product. So they are giving data about them. And dealing with this data requires two things from the employees of the companies. One is knowing what data is, what kinds of data we have, and how to analyze it. And the other is to know digital tools that help us to be able to extract from this huge amount of data that you know that sometimes is in many places like Excel's, databases, or SAP, wherever. So these tools that help us to extract the insight, the information we need to make decisions in our business at the right time. This is important also. So Qlik addresses this need in many ways. For example, offers courses to fill that gap that is found in many organizations where employees don't know exactly what kind of data exists and how to analyze it. And these courses are about what Qlik says is data literacy courses. On the other hand, in terms of digital tools that Qlik offers in the Qlik website, for example, you can find a skills assessment that when you do these skill assessments, it recommends you which training path or which courses that are offered by Qlik you should take in order to improve your skills regarding Qlik products or regarding data or whatever. In the Qlik website, you can find also free courses to learn what is Qlik and see if it's interested for you and you want to know more. And for example, we have a program which is called Qlik Academic Program, which is focused on university professors and students. And we think that maybe they want to use our software and use it in their classes. And if you remember your time at the university, or I remind my time at the university, I would be more than happy, excited about using real tools that real companies use in the real tech industry. So if someone who is listening to us wants more information about this program, of course, they can contact me, because I think it's very interesting for people who is at the university right now and they want to know more about BA tools.
Yes, that's totally true. And it's amazing when you're working as a developer, for example, that of course you know a lot of things about Qlik, but also about this data mindset that you need to have for coding and for programming. And for example, I don't know if you have had this question, but something I usually have is when I try to group information from different values or whatever. And for many people, something really complicated is to understand that they could sum, they could do the average, they could do the maximum, the minimum, something like that, for example, that for technical people like us is really simple, but for many it's quite complex, you know. And this idea of organizing the data and structure the data, and also to have a view of a graph, that's something that I guess that it's not maybe really well explained in the schools or the universities sometimes. I see in the news, for example, usually graphs that are biased and they don't help at all for understanding the data at all. But I mean, something like this, I think it's really important. I'm really happy that you are working there, and little by little that everything is going to be more data literacy, because as you mentioned, everything now is more digital than ever. Usually when we think about data and business intelligence, we have storytelling saying that this is the future, but actually I think that this is the present, or even like the past, because I mean, that's something that was created, like ClickView, the first product was created like more than 20 years ago.
1993.
Exactly. So 30
like the
years.
song in 1990.
Yeah. So it's something really old, and Excel was created by that time. This is like the beginning of this. So, I mean, it's not the future, it's the present or even the past. So we need to go quickly, because now we talk more about the artificial intelligence and things like that. But this is before we need to understand how data is, of course.
This reminds me when I was teaching courses as a technical trainer, Sometimes people came to my courses, and at the beginning, I used to ask them to present themselves and talk a little bit about their background and their experience. And some of them told me, Sara, I have been working in BI during 15 years. And it was like, oh my God. But yeah, data and BI is not something new. We have other things new right now, but BI, business intelligence, and the data analysis is something that it's been among us during a long time, but I think that now is in the place that it deserves because it's something really important for companies.
Yes, I agree. And you said a little bit now already, but can you share any advice or any tip for individuals or organizations looking to improve their digital skills?
Well, my advice is simple. I would say that they have to set a goal and analyze very well where are you and where do you want to go. I think that there is so much information in our hands today. And if we are not sure where we want to go, we can get lost along the way. Someone taught me this a long time ago, and this changed my life. So, by the way, I send greetings to him, to Joaquin, because he helped me a lot to focus my career at that moment in what I want, in what I wanted at that moment. So coming back to this philosophy, if I know, for example, absolutely nothing about system administration, for example, and I want to be an expert in Linux, then perhaps the first things that I have to do is look for a master's degree, because I know my start point is that I don't know anything about this. So maybe the master's degree will help me to establish some knowledge of system administration. And then when I have this basis, I look for companies, leaders in this field, because a lot of them, as in BI, have their own training, and maybe you can access to them. Normally is quite good. So you have to follow this path. The same if you want to be a CRM expert or if you want to master the world of business intelligence. So my advice is this. You have to define a path between the start and the end point and then execute it.
Yes, and one important thing I see is that you can do whatever you want from wherever you are. I mean, and it's great, as we said before, that you bring your mindset. Even if you were working, I don't know, in the retail sector for 10 years, you can, after that, learn how to use technology, or as you said, try to professionalize a little bit your career with a master, with courses or whatever. And then at the end, you arrive to a really interesting point because you could be in this retail world as well, with all of knowledge of the business and also this mindset of data, which is really the key point. So yeah, I agree in that
Yeah,
point.
I think the most important thing is the willing to do it and to get to that place. So if you want, you can.
Yeah, of course. And it's great also if you go slower than you might think. But I mean, constancy bring everything at the end of the day. Yeah.
Completely agree. Yeah.
And also, Sara, now we are talking a lot about AI in 2023, about ChatGPT, for example, about NLP models. That's like the last month, it has been like a huge hype about all of these technologies. And this podcast is also focused on this topic. So I would like to know if Qlik, as the company, is thinking about new technologies regarding AI, or is there anything new related to artificial intelligence?
Well, I could talk for hours about everything that is coming to the Qlik world related to that and what is yet to come. Related to the cloud version of Qlik Sense, if we would talk about artificial intelligence, is getting a lot of momentum because a lot of new features are coming. In it, for example, in Qlik Sense, we have an assistant that helps us answer questions about data and perform analysis quickly and in an intuitive way. It's a feature that it was already before you leave Qlik, but now has a lot of new features and it has been very, very improved. The name of this feature, for those who doesn't know it, is the Insights Advisor, and is based on artificial intelligence and understands natural language. So we can ask to the insights advisor, for example, which have been the 10 best customers in 2022. And this will give us, for example, a bar chart with the top 10 ranking of customers by sales. And we have not had to do nothing, just write a question, and we can now use the chart in one of our dashboards that we have around our multiple Qlik apps. Another product that is related to AI in some way is Qlik AutoML. It's a product that was bought by Qlik some time ago. I don't remember exactly when, but yeah. And now it's perfectly integrated with Qlik Sense Cloud, with our cloud version of Qlik Sense. And what AutoML does is allow users in an easy way, without programming, to create machine learning models that help us to make predictions about the data of our business. And you can also contrast hypotheses, and even later, you can use the data of the predictions that AutoML is generating to use it in your dashboards. So you can use it with your data models. And these are just two features that come to my mind when you ask me about AI in Qlik. But Qlik doesn't stop adding new tools to its portfolio, as I thought before. And that is exciting. And at the same time, I'm not going to lie you, it's very demanding also for Qlik employees, because we have to be up to date with everything. But yeah, at least we tried, and the tech industry is like that. So it's okay.
Yes, I know it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm a little bit afraid because we are recording this at the end of January. So it may take a couple of weeks before it is published. And I'm afraid that by the time we are waiting for the episode to be published, everything could change. And now what you said and what I said is like totally new, or something weird or new happened. And yeah, because
maybe it's prehistoric.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe you have like already 20 more things in Qlik that do AI things.
And 10 more products.
Exactly. So sorry for that if you listen this later.
Yeah, thank you for this comment, Alejandro.
So I also want to ask you one thing. Actually, we don't see women really often in tech world, and that's something really, unfortunately. But that's something that we usually see around, and you might have seen that also. So can you discuss the challenges or the obstacles that you have faced as a woman in the tech industry and how you have overcome them?
I honestly don't feel like I have to overcome huge obstacles in the tech industry, to be honest, because the fact of I'm a woman. In fact, for example, the first time I reported directly to a woman was in this tech industry. By the way, I send greetings to Lydia and Cheryl. They are the people who I have reported since I'm at Qlik, and they are two great examples of women, and I'm still learning a lot from them. But yes, maybe in some situation when I was teaching a course, when I was technical trainer, maybe once I felt that some student from the first moment did not pay much attention to the content, because he thought that if I was not a man, I would not be able to teach him something about software. But I insist, this is some isolated case, and I felt that only in a very specific moment. And I think this is a sector that, well, still maybe has less women than men, but I think we are becoming more and more, and we are increasingly in higher positions. And I also think that there are great initiatives that support the role of women in this industry. For example, in Qlik, there is a group called Women in Technology, which I think meets once a week, and they organize discussion and debate panels during the Women's Month in March. But these initiatives also exist in other industries and other companies, because I was remembering, for example, that I was invited to an event organized by Amazon, which is called Women in Tech. I was invited for 2 years. And in that event, women employees talk about their progression in the company. In fact, there were a few multipotential people there. And they were talking about their professional career at Amazon and how they make compatible their work with their personal lives. So I believe that in the tech industry, there is more and more room for women and more important positions for us. So I think that technology doesn't depend on your gender because we all, women and men, we all are useful in it.
Yes, what an optimistic point of view. It's true that this is changing, actually. Yes, that's true. Actually, women that I have interviewed from the last episodes usually say that this is more a problem of preferences. And I think that this is changing little by little, but it's true that when you are inside, I think there is not like so a big gender gap or something like that that they could be in other industries. Maybe because it's quite a new industry, or I don't know why exactly, but that's true that, for example, a big survey that Fujitsu they were doing for analyzing many aspects, and one was this, and actually it was like 99% of people. Well, I don't remember the exact number, but like most of people were like really happy with this equality and gender gap and this fact. And there were other problems, but regarding this, I think in the tech world it is changing, and I see more and more women colleagues, and that's true, but also it's true that when you see, for example, above and directors, and you talk about Lydia, and I mean, that's maybe an exception because the last generations, I'm thinking that there were like not so a lot of women. So this is going to change maybe in a couple of decades when next generation are going inside this world. But I mean, it's true that if you see, for example, the world 30 years ago, it had changed a lot. So it's something that it is changing, and I like your point of view, which is really optimistic that you haven't faced it really a big challenge because of that. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that the main challenge continues to have more women in higher positions. And I think that, yes, in tech industry, this is something that is closer now. And we already have women in important positions. But yeah, in other industries, I think that the gap is different, is bigger. So it's something that we still have to fight for. Yeah.
So we are finishing, Sara. It has been a valuable conversation, but we need to finish because it's supposed to be during the time a person drinks a coffee. And I guess that maybe they could drink a coffee and cake and then another coffee during the time we have this. But I mean, anyway.
And have lunch.
And a lunch, and of course. But anyway, I think it has been really a meaningful conversation, so it's really great. But just to conclude, you know that I usually ask people, how do they like coffee? So that's a question for you. How do you like coffee, Sara?
Yeah, I was looking forward for this question. Well, it depends on the season of the year. In summer, I like to drink espresso with ice. And probably if some of my Portuguese friends listen to the podcast, they will kill me. But during the rest of the year, I like espresso with a dash of milk.
Great, great. And that's true that in Madrid, we have a really hot summer. So like what you said, espresso with ice is amazing for summer. Yes. Even the Portuguese or even Italian people will kill us, of course. But I mean,
yeah, they too. Italian too.
Italian too. Sorry, guys. And the last question, Sara, how can audience contact you?
Well, I think they can contact me on my LinkedIn profile. You can share the link in the podcast if you want, and I will be more than happy to hear their thoughts. And of course, if I can help them in something, I will do it. If they want to hear more about Qlik or about BI or about the academic program or about me, I will be happy to hear from them. Thank you very, very much. I have to say thank you very much for inviting me to this amazing project, Alejandro. And I propose that the next invitation, we can step out from the coffee to the beer. What do you think?
Yes, that would be another amazing title for this podcast, the AI Beer Podcast. That could be yes, another version. Yeah,
another version.
I keep it for in my mind. Yes, and also as I will become a millionaire, we could have gin tonic, beer, and everything whenever you want.
Amazing.
Thank you very much, Sara. It has been amazing to having you here. And yes, I would like to say that please, Italian haters or Portuguese haters, do not send any kind of message to Sara because of the espresso with ice. But anyway, you can contact her and she will be more than happy to contact you, of course.
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much, Alejandro.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for being here one more week. If you liked it, please subscribe to the podcast and to the newsletter in alejandroperezperez.com. Please share both with your friends and relatives, and don't forget to give me 5 stars in Apple Podcast and Spotify. See you next week. Bye bye.